This video is brought to you by Scout's Eyes. If you're a talented footballer and you want to get yourself in front of a scout, visit Scout's Eyes right now or click the link in the description.
Welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Wow. This is a weird transfer window, I have to say. We are only 1 week away from Arsenal's pre-season tour when they kick off against Bournemouth, and still no signings. And you can't really put it completely on, Edu and Arteta. It's just been a strange one with the Copa America and the Euros. It's strange. I mean, I was even looking yesterday and you're seeing all the Arsenal players that didn't go to any of those competitions. They're all back in full training. There was lots of pictures on Arsenal's website of those players back in training, like Ben White and Thomas Partey and Martin Odegaard. But the players that have played in the Euros and the Copa America, they ain't even back in training yet. I mean, the talk is that those players are going to return to training before the end of this week and will be went out early in the sort of group stages of the Euros. But players that went out late in the late stages, say somebody like Havertz, who went out in the in the quarterfinals, Havertz won't join the squad probably until late into the tour. So again, you're going to have, players like Havertz, Trossard, these guys coming later on. They're still on holiday. You can still see them guys posting snaps of them chilling out. They're not doing any training at all, not proper training anyway. And then players like Saka, Ramsdale, Raya, Reiss, they're not expected to be on the American tour at all. They're expected to return back to training and that just ahead of probably they may figure in the Emirates Cup. So it's a real strange one. It just goes to show to me that these competitions like UEFA and they have no concern for these players whatsoever and rest and recuperation because, the season then starts about a week after. I mean, it's nuts. And it has really affected the transfer market. I've not known a transfer market like this where it's obvious that Arsenal want to buy players. It's obvious that they're looking at players, but at the moment, nobody has signed. No new signings. And I don't know about you guys. Does it make you a little bit worried that nobody's come in yet? That none of these signings have been made yet? And no big signings. Remember last year we had Declan Rice signed by now and we was all jumping up and down and saying what a brilliant signing and gives you a buzz, you know what I mean? At the moment, nothing. Could they move for Nico Williams? And again, if they did get Nico Williams, before I get into it, he wouldn't be having a pre-season at Arsenal, would he? That's got to be something that be taken into consideration. He'd be probably, say if Arsenal signed him, he wouldn't come in until, probably the season started. So it's a real strange one. But the Athletic claiming on Nico Williams, the Arsenal still got a great chance to sign him. There's been lots of talk about it. Lots of people talking about it as well. Fabrizio Romano, other transfer experts saying that, listen, it's not over for Arsenal in this deal. It is thought that Barcelona are the clear favourites. He is their number one target. However, one big problem for Barcelona in this deal is that release clause, it said that Real Sociedad want that money up front. It's one of those release clauses where the 49 million or 47 or whichever, every time you look on it, everyone's got a different number on it, but it's around about 47 million pounds. They want that money up front. Now, this is a big problem for Barcelona. We already know that they've got serious financial problems. They're obviously trying to do a lot of juggling to get this deal done. They obviously want to team him up with Yamal so that they can counteract the fact that Real Madrid have just bought in Mbappe and they're going to have Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. up front. But they got a problem with that release clause. It's a problem for Arsenal as well. Arsenal would need to sell players first. probably to try and meet that as well. But Arsenal in a much better financial position than Barcelona. Barcelona with their big FFP problems, or the financial fair play problems that they have over there in Spain. And who is going to win this battle? We know that Arsenal's still interested in him. We know that Mikel Arteta, a huge fan of him. Who wouldn't be after what we saw in the Euros, one of the best players in that competition? Who's going to win this battle for Nico Williams? As I said, Barca's still the favourites, just in the fact that they're driving so hard publicly to get the deal done. But Arsenal's still in this. Chelsea as well feel that they can get this done as well, because those two teams do feel that they could get that money up front. And one of the ways that Arsenal could raise some of that money as well is the sale of Emile Smith-Rowe. Bid of £30 million already turned down. Could this be the reason why Arsenal are pushing for more money from Fulham? Fulham said to be looking to return with a new offer. It's £40 million that Arsenal are looking for. And will they get near to it? This money could go towards that release clause of Nico Williams. By the way, on the Nico Williams thing is also the wages. The wages structure would be very high as well. But again, not something that Arsenal couldn't do, although they would want to drive that down a bit as well. But £40 million is what they want for Smith-Rowe. Could that be used towards getting this Nico Williams deal done? If they don't get that deal done, another player that Arsenal could move for is Eberechi Eze. Now, we've been linked with him earlier on in the transfer window. He's said to have a release clause of around about £60 million. Different type of release clause by all accounts to the Nico Williams one. Should also renew their interest in him. Spurs are really ramping up the pressure to try and get the deal for Eze done. If Smith-Rowe does leave, should Arsenal be trying to bring in Eze as a player to replace him? As I said, Spurs looking at him as their number one priority. Always like this player, but maybe Eze should be one of the players that Arsenal are considering. Sort of going back to players that Arsenal are looking to move out, and again, this is one of the reasons why they could raise, and it gives them an advantage in this Nico Williams deal, is that players like Reiss Nelson. Now, West Ham are said to be showing a really, really big interest in him, and that's according to the Evening Standard. And Brighton have also entered the fray as well and are also very interested in Reiss Nelson. Arsenal want around about 25 million, but the talk is they take 20 million for him as well. So again, that would raise a lot of money and enable them to get that deal done if they want to do it for Nico Williams, if he's willing to come. So again, money can be raised. And then there's Eddie Nketiah. We've seen the rumours that Arsenal looking for up to £40 million. The rumours are saying that the club that are really, really hot for him right now is Marseille. They've already bid. Their bid was completely rejected. Will they come back with an offer that's going to get close to that 40 million? They're way off it at the moment. There's lots of other Premier League clubs interested in him as well. It's interesting that all the talk is that Eddie Nketiah will be going on the pre-season tour of Arsenal, for Arsenal over in America, although Arsenal are still looking to sell him, probably looking to get him out there, get him having games, keep that price high. Maybe he has a good pre-season, scoring a load of goals, and then, the price can go up. But they're looking pretty confident that they'll move Eddie Nketiah on. He wants more game time. Not sure if it would be Marseille, though, unless they come back with a much bigger offer to get this deal done. And Mikel Merino, this is a player that I keep saying, I see this deal getting done. He wants to come back to the Premier League. He was, at Newcastle, did all right at Newcastle as well. Has been brilliant at Sociedad last season, excellent in the Euros as we saw. Now, there's two clubs in particular that are really, really hot for him in the Premier League. Arsenal, as we know, and the other club now is Aston Villa. Unai Emery pushing hard for Merino and would like to bring him in. However, Merino has already stated that to sources around him that if he comes to the Premier League, he wants to go to Arsenal. Again, I've said that, there's been these rumours previously that Mikel Arteta rung him personally. This was even before the Euros, wanting to get the deal done. It goes against a lot of what Edu and Arteta have been doing in signing players recently, and the fact that he's like 28 years old, but they look at his experience, they look at how good he has been in that midfield area, his strengths, and feel he'd be a perfect matchup with Declan Rice. And I really can see that deal getting done. However, when will he come in? Because, as I've been saying, he's just won the Euros. He's not going to be ready for probably the start of the season as well. So it's a real strange one. And can somebody please tell me, where's Calafiori? That's still not done. Still not completed. There's obviously little problems behind the scene on this deal that are really holding this up, because I'm sure Arsenal would have liked to get this one done so he can get in and do some sort of pre-season. At the moment, whether he'll be done in time for the weekend, which then means he can come out to America, I really, really don't know. I mean, they're going to be in America, Arsenal, for, was it about nearly 10 days? So still maybe he joins at some period throughout the tour. I really don't know. But the Calafiori deal still looking like it's going to get done, but still not done. And no signings yet for Arsenal, and pre-season is about to begin. Arsenal fly out to America on Sunday. No signings yet through the door. Can anything happen before the end of the week? We will keep you posted if it does. We've got our breaking news, our transfer updates, talking transfers as well as Transfer Daily here on AFTV. So thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget, anything happens, I'll be on it right here. And I'll see you tomorrow.